What's going on, guys? Collector Crow here at the Collector's Nest. I figured this would be a great time to do a haul video. I really haven't done a monthly haul video. Mine have been mostly pickups from local stores. I've been traveling around a good bit recently, just got a new job, and so I really have not had much time to take all these boxes that have come in the mail and just dig into them yet. So I thought I'd do that now and share with you all my pickups, and hopefully maybe you'll find something in this haul that, hey, you want to check out for yourself or that you'd like some more information about. Today, it's not entirely just a manga haul. I know there's a few other anime, manga, collectible related things in my packages, but I figured why not just do them all on here and just, see what all is in the boxes. Because honestly, I'm not going to even lie, I don't remember half of what's in these boxes at this point. My Right Stuff orders that I placed like last March are still coming in a year later. So yeah, I've completely forgotten what's in a lot of these orders. So it's going to be a surprise for both of us, really. So not a lot of brand new pickups this month. These are new volumes in the sense that they are not used. However, my manga that was actually releasing in March and April, for the most part, is still preparing to be shipped. So I'm expecting to receive newer volumes of ongoing series in the next couple of weeks. So a lot of just back issues and older manga this month. So first off is a manga that I think I kind of missed the boat on, and that would be Umineko When They Cry. I tried the Higurashi series a little bit when I was a lot younger, and it didn't really click with me, but I also only gave it like 1 or 2 chapters to really try, so I figured it was time to give the Umineko and Higurashi series an honest shot. And then I looked online and saw how hard it was to find these. So I thought, okay, before these go super out of print even more than they are, I'm going to go ahead and grab what I can, because if I end up not liking it, maybe I can sell these later, and if I do like it, hey, great, I've got the series already, and I don't have to pay like $500 a volume. I'm not actually sure they're going for that much, but it's a lot. So I got the ones that were in stock on Right Stuff, that being Requiem of the Golden Witch Volume 1 and Volume 3. Which are volumes 16 and 18 respectively. And then volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Twilight of the Golden Witch. And might I just say that these are some absolute chonkers. I knew these were omnibus type volumes and I was expecting something big, but this is huge. I have a random volume here of Arpeggio of Blue Steel. Look at that! That's ridiculous! I don't know a lot about this series other than that both Higurashi and Umineko have a sort of cult following and they deal with horror type elements. And honestly, I'm a little confused on how to actually jump into this series. I've heard there are question arcs and answer arcs, but I don't know if I can read these volumes that I have right here without reading the ones that technically precede them. So if you're familiar with this series, let me know, because I'd love to go ahead and try to jump into this series with the volumes that I have and, not have to wait around to eventually and hopefully find the ones that I'm missing. And then speaking of, we also have volume 26 of the Higurashi series, which covers the dice killing arc, apparently. Again, I'm not super familiar with this franchise, so I just picked these up because I was hoping to get into it, and then when I ordered on Right Stuff Anime, I got emails for about half of the ones that I ordered that said, hey, sorry, no longer in stock, and we're not getting more. Enjoy your half-fulfilled order. So really hoping to get into this series, both Higurashi and Umineko. Again, if you know about them, are familiar with them, definitely in the comments let me know how this series is, how you like it, because maybe it would encourage me to more adamantly and fervently look for these volumes at a reasonable price. So speaking of out of print, in my last video I talked about Ubel Blot and how it was seemingly impossible to find certain volumes of that series, and it's one that I'm again wanting to get into and try to start. It's only 10 volumes, I believe, 10 or 11 omnibuses, so I guess technically 20-ish volumes. But I went ahead on Right Stuff with the same order and just got volumes 5 and 7 of this series before they could go out of print. That way, again, I have them and I don't have to pay the like $800 that was being asked for, I think, volume 3, because that is ridiculous. You should not have to pay that much. Looking forward to getting into this series. I know it's going to be a little difficult because of how hard it is to find some of those earlier volumes, but maybe we'll get lucky. Again, let me know in the comments what you think of this series. I've heard it started off really strong and then just kind of petered out along the way, so I'm kind of expecting a mixed bag. Alright, now for a series that I do know a little bit about, and that is Volume 16 of Yakitate Japan. I picked up a little while ago volumes 1, 2, 3, whatever, just on a whim because it was part of a sale on Right Stuff. And I dove into them, not really expecting much. The series is about bread craftsmen, and they bake in a similar style to Shokugeki no Soma, where it's like two people or a team battling against their opponents to see who has the better culinary creation. And yeah, I was expecting just kind of a toned down Shokugeki, and really that's kind of what you get. The characters in Yakitate are a little bit one note, a little bit bland. The main character especially is a Gary Stew, which, yeah, it's not the most interesting in that regard, but it's fun to watch the creation of the breads, to learn actually about the history of baking and a lot of just random scientific facts that otherwise I would never know, and I'm probably not going to remember. Definitely recommend it if you like Shokugeki no Soma. It gets a little bit ridiculous at times, whereas Shokugeki no Soma's ridiculousness was always tied to what was going on in the moment and was never really outstaying its welcome. Yakitate sometimes does like full chapters on just absolutely nonsensical reactions to people's tasting of the bread. So just go in with knowing that it's not the most serious manga in the world and you'll be fine. I've enjoyed this series. I'm actually just finishing volume 15 right now, so I'm going to start on volume 16 very soon. Next up is volume 13 of Black Cat. And I think this brings me to like missing 2 or 3 volumes of this series. I remember starting it way back in the day when it was first coming out, and it didn't leave much of an impression on me, but I'm trying to get more into the older Shonen Jump stuff just to, kind of complete that set. And I know that Black Cat was pretty well revered, so I'm going to give it another shot pretty soon. Most volumes I've found for pretty cheap lately, so I figured go ahead and pick it up. If you're unfamiliar with this series, I know it has a plot dealing with like bounty hunters, so if you're into that, you might want to try giving this a shot. And then I have volume 4 of Dimension W. Dimension W, I've had the first 3 volumes for a while, and I remember liking what I read of it, and I just kind of got sidetracked. It's one that I'm now getting back into, and I'm hoping to actually read through the series now that I'm pretty sure it's complete. So I'm hoping to continue liking it as I go on and adding volume 5, 6, 7, and up pretty soon. Next up is a manga that I'm pretty much going into completely blind, and I got this just based off of people's general reactions to it. And that is the Korean webcomic based on a novel called Solo Leveling. And as you can see, this is a full color volume that is not your usual manga style because it's just got the webcomic panels inside of it as a different format than your normal vertical reading when you read a webcomic like this. I have no idea what this is about. I'm assuming it's some kind of fantasy, maybe isekai type thing, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, so I'm excited to give this a try. Next up, I have a few volumes of Durarara, the $3 arc specifically. I was really into reading this manga for a while because I really loved the Durarara anime, and the novels were something I was also getting into at the same time that I was reading these manga. But the release schedule for this manga was just so slow that I ended up just completely dropping it for the time. I've occasionally picked up a few volumes here and there if I see them in stores, so I got volumes 2, 4, 5, and 6 to kind of round out what I'm missing. And now that I'm pretty sure it's nearing its conclusion for this particular arc, I'm going to try and get back into the $3 part of it because that was, I believe, where I left off when reading it. So if you're unfamiliar, Durarara is about the city of Ikebukuro in Japan, and the sort of supernatural exploits that go on there involving a headless rider on a motorcycle, kind of like a headless horseman type being, as well as the involvement of a bunch of local gangs and how they all tie together in this big web of intricacy, backstabbing, violence. If you love having a lot of characters and even backtracking to see how scenes play out from different viewpoints, you'll have a blast with this series, because I really can't think of a series that does that particular thing better. That's what made me fall in love with the anime, and I was really enjoying the manga when I was reading it, though I don't think it's as good as the anime, so hoping to get back into that really soon. And now the last manga is one that I'm going to start very soon. I've seen it in catalogs for a long time now. I've added it to my cart, removed it, added it to my cart, removed it, and finally I bit the bullet on Volume 1 of M. Great Priest Imhotep. Sorry about my pronunciation, probably. What I know about it is that it involves a Egyptian priest who is, I think, resurrected in Japan, and how that sort of plays out. And I've heard very mixed things about this manga, but it's a short series, so I figured, if I get Volume 1 and I like it, it's only a few more volumes to complete it, and if I don't like it, well, I'm only one volume out right now. I feel like the Egyptian motif is something that's not really done a lot with, especially since Yu-Gi-Oh! Concluded, and the spin-offs for Yu-Gi-Oh! Haven't really dealt with that Egyptian setting or theme. So I'm hoping this is going to be a nice return to form, in the sense that I'm going to get some nice Egyptian lore, and it's always nice to see the outfits that are representative of the ancient Egyptians, because they're always so intricate and so interestingly designed. So looking forward to that. Alright, so that does it for the manga. Next up is an order from CD Japan, and this is part of an order. The rest of it was pre-ordered or back-ordered, so I'm expecting a second shipment in the next couple of weeks. But I ordered a few anime soundtracks, and I'm not too big into getting soundtracks for like every series, but I'll do it for series that I really like, or ones where the music just really captured me. So in this case, I bought the second season ReZero soundtrack, which was for the first part, and the ReZero Frozen Bond soundtrack. I'm a big fan of the music of this series, and ReZero is just one of my all-time favorite animes, so I really like getting the soundtracks or some merchandise here and there for it, just to show my support and kind of tide me over until new episodes come out. If you haven't listened to the music, Kenichiro Suehiro does an absolutely fantastic job, and I know I butchered that name, I'm so sorry, but definitely go and check it out. If you can't buy the CDs, go on YouTube, listen to some of it, it's fantastic. And then my last CD for right now is Volume 4, or Soundle 4, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, specifically the spin-off series. I'm actually not a huge fan of the original Duel Monsters, and I've been working for the last couple of years on trying to get all of the soundtracks for all of the series, including Duel Monsters, and Soundle 4 completes my Zeal collection. It's not exactly my favorite one of the spin-offs in terms of either the plot or the music, but it does have some nice tracks here and there, and again, I just really love Yu-Gi-Oh! So I am excited to complete my Zeal aspect of the collection, though I'm more of a fan of the music of Vrains and 5D. Alright, so the last part of this video is a little different, and I'm just going to go through it really quick because there's not a lot to talk about, and that's my trading card haul. So again, as I've said multiple times in this video, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I've got a box of the Blazing Vortex set, which has been out for a little while now, and a box of the Genesis Impact set, which is actually my second box for this because I accidentally ordered 2 of them. So yeah, I've got these on hand, and I've also got the Season 2 Legendary Duelist box and the new Structure Deck Freezing Chains. Now, the Freezing Chains Structure Deck I'm going to leave sealed for the time being, but if for the Legendary Duelists or either of the booster boxes you'd like to see that as an opening video to see what I pull out of the packs, let me know in the comments because I'd love to do that kind of content. Anyway, that's the haul. So again, let me know about the Umineko Higurashi series, what you think of it, how I should approach that, and also any thoughts you have about the solo leveling series if you've already dove into that first volume. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next month with another haul, hopefully featuring some more newer titles. Till then.